John Pynakker with the Mojave Valley Daily News, and this is your Valley Voices. It's brought to you by Tri-State Wi-Fi. Tri-State Wi-Fi is your less expensive, more reliable alternative to your current internet provider. They provide you with high-speed internet service at an affordable price and are bringing high-speed internet service to all the residents who have been underserved for many years. I'm very happy to introduce you to my next guest. I met her a couple of months ago, working together on something that she's been doing, and I've been really impressed with her. It's Ava Smith.
Hi.
You don't do that.
Thanks for having me, John.
Ava Smith is one of our teachers at Coyote Canyon. She's also the originator, inventor, I don't know.
Yes, yeah.
of the Band Together, Stick Together Educators Club.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you guys have a secret handshake or anything?
Not yet.
Work on it though.
It was created in June, so we were all virtual at the time.
Well, tell us about it. What is the goal of the Band Together, Stick Together Educators Club?
Well, when the whole pandemic happened, back in March and shut us all down, that March to May area was that was rough.
Hard,
yeah, that was a really it was unprecedented, and I felt that all of our worlds got turned upside down. The education world, the life of parents, all of it got turned upside down, and we were just trying to keep our heads above water in that sense. And so when school ended in May, I had been part of a couple of Facebook groups that had been titled like Teaching Through COVID, First Grade Survival, and there were always things that I saw in those groups that I felt were relevant to our local, tri-state educators. And I would share things on my page, but a lot of my friends are, non-education related.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, that's cool, whatever. They didn't get it, like, okay, Ava's sharing some more teaching stuff again. So then I thought, I really think that this next year, the new school year, is going to also follow patterns, of March to May. And I thought, I think we need somewhere. Our local teachers need some kind of support group where, we're all in this area, we're all experiencing that, and so that's how it was born. And it was the idea of, banding together, like
commiserating together.
Any educator will tell you, whether you're in administration, at the district office, the principal, the classroom teacher, the aides, the kitchen workers, the crossing guard, the bus drivers, the specials teachers, all the pieces. Any of us will tell you that the only way we survive, the good days and the bad days, is with each other. Even our loved ones, we come home after a really long day. I'll say to my husband, like, you will not believe what happened today. And he's like, okay, honey, yeah, come over here for a hug. And then, shoo me away. And then, but if I have, my teacher bestie who, we can stop in the hallway and be like, is that happening in your classroom too? And it's that kind of support that I've always depended on to get through those days. And so I designed the group, on that idea. Like, we're all in this together. It's going to be rough. It's going to be hard, but we're going to band together and stick together and get through this together.
So you can kind of commiserate with each other on, well, here's how I got through that.
Yeah, most definitely. We've posted in there like, okay, how did you guys get through this? Or do you have any ideas over here? Or what supplies did you do? And virtually, what does your setup look like? What are you doing for your parents? So yeah, that's where it was from, and I've loved it, and I hope all those in there love it too.
It looks like you got a nice big following.
I think so. We're at almost 270, which isn't bad. I don't scoff at that at all. No. I was celebrating inside the club back in June when we hit 50. I was like, woohoo! 50 members. So I hope by year's end we'll hit that 300 mark. We have plenty of schools in the area to kind of put our little fingernail, and doing like, come into this group. It's really amazing.
All right, if you're not part of the group, join the group. You might have solved the problem that somebody else here one of the other teachers is facing. So
collaboration.
join the group. Band together, stick together, educators.
Yep.
All right, so tell us about your history. Where are you from? How long have you been a teacher? Why did you get into teaching? What kind of crazy person gets involved in teaching?
So I homeschooled my younger brother, and I really didn't have any path in life. I had a really difficult childhood, and I've lived here since I was 11, so for over 20 years now. Not trying to age myself.
Over 20 years. Ooh, wow, that's old.
Sorry, guys. And so, well, I tell my first graders I'm 7, so I really try to keep that under wraps. And so I grew up here, had a really traumatic childhood, and survived that, thankfully, knock on wood. And when I was homeschooling my younger brother, it just kind of hit me one day, I think I'm good at this. I think I can do this. And I'll never forget, he looked at me and he was like, okay, that's great that you've found your calling, that you're going to be a teacher, but you do know that, you can't treat them like you treat me. And I'm like, oh, you're just my brother. Yeah, I'll be nice to them. And so I started my journey. I went to college at MCC, which was an amazing experience. I never thought I'd go to college, and MCC really just changed that for me. School was not a good thing for me. I did not have a good time in school, and so it was really odd that I would be going to school to be an educator.
Even more school.
Right,
so
yeah.
Go back to school.
And MCC changed that. I had an amazing experience there. I followed through on my bachelor's through NAU. And again, an amazing program. They connected it, and I had scholarships, and it was just amazing. And so when I graduated, I had already been working at Desert Valley under Miss Cochran, and I was grandfathered in, and I've loved it there ever since. I've had amazing experiences there. I did my student teaching there under Christopher Roy. He was an amazing mentor. Probably taught me some bad habits too, like working way too much.
You put in some crazy hours.
Yeah, day and night, cars at the parking lot, in the dark, and it does take a lot of time. Being an educator really does. The amount of time, energy, and effort that goes into it is immeasurable. We don't write our hours down, but if you see our cars in the parking lot, know that we're there and we're working hard. And so last year in March, I had thought about, okay, do I want another baby? Which I'm like, I can't even handle the 2 I have. Or do I want to go for my master's? And Masters won out on that.
I can see that.
I have Scarlett and Eric, and they're amazing, and I love being a mom. But my hands are full there, so I was like, okay, I'll go for the Masters. That sounds great. And it was really hard.
You could have chose ice cream or something.
Right? Yeah, I could have.
Maybe I'll take up painting or something.
I could have chosen a hobby. I don't have one of those. And so I went for my master's. One of my teacher besties had just gone for her master's and graduated. And I thought, well, if she can do it, I can do it. And so I give my credit for going for it, to her. And yeah, I just graduated 2 days ago and finished.
You're
so
fresh graduate.
fresh off the cuff. So, and that I got that degree in reading instruction. Reading is, my parents will tell you, I have two important things to who I am as an educator. It's parent and family relationships, and reading. And so I with this degree, I can go after a reading specialist or literacy.
Is that what your goal is?
We'll see. I think I have some new ventures on the horizon.
Oh.
So we'll see.
You heard it here first.
I'm gonna stay in teaching, but we'll see where it takes me.
Excellent.
I'm very excited.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Happy for you. We are going to talk about our why we asked her here, the Educators of the Month. But let me first talk about our sponsors. Tri-State Wi-Fi has several plans for commercial or residential customers. Residential packages start at just $45 a month, and they offer speeds from 12 megs up to 50. There is no data cap or throttling of internet speeds. Packages are also available with symmetrical download and upload speeds for sharing large files or gaming. Are you a gamer?
Mr. Smith is. So I will tell him about this.
Surf the web with the fastest internet speeds available. Tri-State Wi-Fi is locally owned and operated, and as a member of the community, Tri-State Wi-Fi donates frequently back to its community. Currently, they serve many residential customers in the Tri-State area from Bullhead City to the Needles Bridge and even into Needles. Commercial accounts include the Bullhead City Government Center, all city parks, and the Mojave Valley Fort Mojave Community Park. So thank you to George and the great people over at Tri-State Wi-Fi. All right, the reason we are here is to talk about the Tri-State Educators of the Month.
Yes.
So the Tri-State Educators of the Month is put together by the Band Together, Stick Together Educators Club, as well as Make Bullhead Better, and Grace Hecht. And it's a program that, well, it was featured in today's paper. We also have a video on our YouTube channel, the Educators of the Month. For this month, we were catching up. The first one was in September, and then we just did the one in October. But every month, what we're going to have, the second Tuesday of the month, we'll have the Educator of the Month by themselves, along with a little write-up. So we kind of squished these together this month, trying to get caught up. But first month, September, was Kathleen Watson, but now, as of what, 2 days ago?
Yep, Saturday.
She's Gianna Moore?
Yeah, Gianna Moore.
Okay. Watson is so much easier to say, but all right, Kathleen, we get it. And then October, Lily Radich.
Yeah. You say that better than I just call her Lily.
I hate it when people say their names wrong. So tell us about the Tri-State Educators of the Month. How you're the person that came up with it. How did you come up with it? Why and all that?
So at the end of last year, Grace Hecht, who was just nominated for the CAA Humanitarian.
Oh, by the way, she didn't mention in her history, she is a Laughlin Community Achievement Award winner for Educator of the Year in 2018.
Yeah, so, thank you.
I'm her agent. Give me a call if you need anything.
You're hired. Yeah, so Grace Hecht, who was just recently nominated for Humanitarian of the Year, she's an amazing soul. Our backstory is kind of odd. We met at a yard sale I was having, and I want to say she liked a pair of shoes that I had, and so we got to talking. And so over the years, we've just kind of kept, in surface contact. I think that she has really done amazing things and survived unbelievable things, and so I just really think that she's an amazing human being. And at the end of last year, we had kind of touched base a little bit about a teacher coalition page she wanted to start, and she did, where the area would get involved in sponsoring classrooms and teachers and getting supplies out there. Well, in the time that she was getting all that together, the pandemic began, and so that got put on hold. And so then in June, when I started the club, I've had grand ideas for this club. I'm very excited for it. One of the ideas that I wanted to do that is so important to me is recognizing educators, making sure that they know that they're appreciated, making sure that they know they are a valuable part of our community. That's my whole thing. And so I knew that Grace would be the perfect person to partner up with, because she had started the Make Bullhead Better and just that community outreach. And so I approached her and I said, what do you think about partnering together on this, where we recognize educators every month? And we went back and forth a little bit on what that would look like, what we would do, who would get involved, how we would go about it. And by September, we kind of shoveled it out there and we're like, okay, let's do this. And I didn't want it to be something that just fell to the wayside. I always have these grand ideas. Even in the classroom, I'm like, oh, we're going to do this, kids. And then it's like, where's the time?
That's not the way it looked like in my head.
Exactly. And so I didn't want this to be one of those things that just due to circumstances, that didn't really go the way I planned.
That would have been easy to give up on it with the pandemic. Sure.
I mean, most definitely. But I think even more so that feeds into the point of doing it during the pandemic. Teachers, and all people, everybody involved in the education realm, they have worked so much harder this year than any other year in their years. I mean, we have veteran teachers. This is my 6th year. I've never worked this hard in my life. We have veteran teachers who they're in their 30th year, and they're like, oh my, what is this? This is so hard, and so this was the time for something like this. This was the time to really make it known, like, educators are really working harder than they ever have before. They need to be told that they're seen, that they're valued, that they're appreciated, and be recognized. So Grace was more than happy to partner up with me. I'm so fortunate for that. And we started in September. We only had 4 nominations, which I was cool with. I was like, hey, we get 1 nomination. Yeah. I'm good. And then in October, we had 15. That was amazing. So I really hope this takes off. I appreciate, getting to know you and partnering with you, and getting partnered with Mojave Valley Daily News, I think is amazing. And everybody has jumped on board, and I think it's a great thing. Yeah,
and that's one thing we should point out here. If you look up at the top, You've got Wings of an Angel.
Thank you.
In-home care. We were looking for a sponsor for this because everything in the paper has to be paid for. So
yes.
We were looking for a sponsor. I made a call to Kevin Holler, and it was, here's the idea. What do you think? Yeah, I'm in.
Awesome.
And I can tell you this. I haven't told you this yet, but he has, as of 2 days ago, they've said, we're in for the whole year.
Oh my gosh.
This was a month-to-month thing. Now he said, we'll take the whole rest of the year. We also are going to be doing a banquet at the end of the year that will be for athletes and teachers and everything else. They're going to sponsor the award for that.
Wow.
Great people over there at
Thank you.
At Wings of an Angel. So Trisha and Kevin Holler.
Thank you so much. That's amazing.
Yeah, isn't it cool?
Yeah, that is.
One of the things that she didn't mention is that we keep saying educator, but it's not just your teacher or your student's teacher or your child's teacher. It is
anyone,
administrator or the lunch lady.
It could be the attendance clerk. It could be one of the health attendants. They're working really hard this year.
You had a bus driver.
We had a bus driver, Armida, from last month. The crossing guard you mentioned when we saw each other a couple weeks ago. It's anyone from the top down, somebody who works in the district office who helped you and you think that they do amazing work. It could be one experience, or you just value this person knowing that they've done so much over the years. The nominations that are coming in are so heartfelt. Like
you read them and it's just even if you just need to go to the Facebook page. If you're an educator and you haven't joined, go to the Facebook page and join and just read the letters of the nominees from last month, and you'll just go, wow.
And I try to post all of the spotlights, into as many groups as I can, and I do hope people take the time to read them, because these are people. So many of them last month were people behind the scenes. People who do IEPs that you only maybe hear over the phone making that appointment, but they do all the paperwork. So it really is important that when you're nominating, think of all the pieces that make up. I mean, the education realm is not just made up of the classroom teacher. Right. I couldn't do what I do without everybody behind me and in front of me and on the front lines. It's everybody.
Yeah, and those nurses, I think the nurses, especially when you look at it now, those nurses, as we read in today's paper, those nurses are going through a lot of stuff at all the different levels. So if you have somebody that you would like to nominate, it's right down here at the bottom.
Yep.
Tri-State Teachers Educator Club at gmail.com. Write up who you want to nominate and why,
And be detailed. Be detailed. The details that you send in for the nomination is what makes up their spotlight. So name, position, school they work at, contact information for that person. I email them. I ask them for a picture. They get super excited when they find out that they've been nominated. And the other cool thing is we do the basket, and their name stays in the drawing indefinitely, so they never lose
awesome.
out on their chance to win.
That's great. You know, we talked a lot this year about parents having to teach their children from home and giving a new understanding of what it's like to have to deal with one student, let alone 25 students. So a lot of credit going out to our teachers this year. Here's your chance to recognize them.
I will say this if I can. Sorry.
Sure.
I do want to give a shout out to our parents and our family community. When we started this, there had been some people who had made remarks about, oh, what about the parents? Yeah, totally. Like not necessarily for the nomination, but I just want you to know as the person behind this that the parents are a huge part of why we do what we do and how successful we are at it. Our parents and our families, they're 50% of the game plan. Without you guys, we can't do our job. And I can tell you, as a virtual teacher this year, I call my parents my co-teachers because I'm on the screen and I'm like, yes, Ruth, can you make sure that she's down there doing that and her words are in there? And okay, thanks, I appreciate that. I mean, it's a full-blown 100% partnership with our parents and our families, and we have older siblings who are in school themselves and they're helping the little ones. I mean, we could not do what we do this year and any other year, normal or abnormal, without our parents and families. So just please know that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I think this is an awesome program. The Band Together, Stick Together thing, I think, is an incredible idea to like a therapy for teachers.
It is
That's
a little
awesome.
bit. We put some really funny memes in there. Get us through the day.
Well, better memes than wine, I guess. So that's probably.
Oh
good.
no, I guess teachers like
There's a
that
little
too.
wine involved, too.
Oh, you meant wine or whining?
No,
No,
wine.
both? No, I don't
Just kidding, wine.
know.
Thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you, John.
And thank you to Tri-State Wi-Fi for sponsoring us. Tri-State Wi-Fi is here to serve you. The owner is a member of your community, not a corporation, and they give back to the community accordingly. They're currently looking to increase their staffing. So if you're looking for a long-term position as a technician or computer installer, or if you're looking to change your internet service provider, contact them today at 928-763-3446. That's it. Thank you again to my guest, Ava
you.
Smith.
I have that.
we will-
Can I say, just for
Sure.
anybody who's listening, so much of what we do is to be who we needed when we were younger. So that's a mantra that I live by. That's somebody who I am as an educator, and I know all of my educator friends will agree in that. That's it.
That's a great way to end it. Be who you needed when you were younger. So
Yes.
thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time.